You may not believe that the Detroit Lions are petty, but they are. Dan Campbell is petty. Ben Johnson is petty. Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I am petty as well. I like a petty individual. I think it is a line between being overly petty and being, and you toe that line of a petty as in a chip on your shoulder where you just kind of don't take it and you want some get back, right? So you remember what was done to you and you make sure that everybody knows it. But the Detroit Lions are definitely a petty organization from when it comes to the coaching staff, right? We know what happened. We go into Jerry World and we put up 47 on them. We didn't forget what happened last year. We had an opportunity to play the starters, and Dan Campbell said that he was throwing everything at the San Francisco 49ers in what some might say was a meaningless game. Now, I don't think it was a meaningless game. I think it just meant less, right? It didn't mean as much as it would have had the Green Bay Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. But it wasn't meaningless, but it just meant less. That's a bar too, by the way. But I've been seeing, and people have been asking me in the comment section how I felt about some things that Fred Warner was saying, and maybe particular something that was going on as for the Detroit Lions. Maybe the San Francisco 49ers had it out for the Detroit Lions and maybe were intentionally trying to injure them. I don't know. I was at the stadium, so I saw one thing, and it wasn't until I saw something different or something else, because at the stadium, you don't get privy to a lot of stuff that you guys see on TV. So I didn't see what you guys saw. So I don't know about that whole 49ers trying to get, out to get the Detroit Lions. I remember Terrion Arnold and Kirby Joseph, and it did seem like Greg Jennings, or I think Greg Jennings was somebody else, but Jawan Jennings, that he had a problem. Like, I don't know what it was. It was I don't know if it was a carryover from last year, the NFC title game or what, but it was definitely some bad blood there. But it was something that I saw as I was watching the highlights to the game. I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown do a particular celebration, and I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. I see what you did there. But it wasn't until I saw Fred Warner's pregame speech that I finally put two and two together. And this is what I mean by the Detroit Lions being extra petty. Now, before we go any further, the Detroit Lions, the NFL put out at 8:03 a pregame celebration. This was a direct tweet from the NFL Twitter account, their official account, and it was the pregame speech, the hype speech. Like we see Penei Sewell, he does it for the Detroit Lions as far as the offensive side, and Fred does it for the 49ers defense. Here's Fred Warner. Okay, I'm going to play this twice, but this is Fred Warner, and this is him hyping up his team. Let's take a listen.
Dan Campbell says, we're bringing everybody to the West Coast. Right. We're bringing everybody to the West Coast. For what? To get y'all ass beat tonight. Monday night. Monday night. They got to leave like this. Limp it. Limp it home. Limp it home. That hurt. Here hurt. Let them know. Put your fucking forehead on their fucking forehead and let them feel it from the first play to the last. Yeah. Yeah. It's our house. Make this personal now. Let's go. Don't let them watch your dream. Dan Campbell says, we're bringing everybody to the West Coast. Right. We're bringing everybody to the West Coast. For what? To get y'all ass beat tonight. Monday night. Monday night. They got to leave like this. Limp it. Limp it home. Limp it home. That hurt. Here hurt. Put your fucking forehead on their fucking forehead and let them feel it from the first play to the last. Yeah. It's our house. Make this personal now. Let's go. Don't let them watch your dream.
Well, I heard what he said, and he said, first of all, Fred, he said, we're throwing everything at you guys. We didn't say we were bringing everybody, but I see what you're trying to do there. And he said that he was going to take it personal, that the 49ers should take it personal. And he was right. They absolutely should take it personal because guess what? The Detroit Lions were doing the same. They were personal and they were petty. That's 100%. This was a game that kept our organization out of their first ever Super Bowl. And the Detroit Lions, this was one, you guys remember when they did the schedule release, Kirby Joseph had a look on his face as he held up the San Francisco 49ers team that he wanted to get back. And that's what the Detroit Lions, so there's no doubt. And Dan Campbell, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the pettiest one, but he's like undercover. Well, no, you know what? Dan Campbell is undercover petty. Amon-Ra St. Brown is very boisterous with the petty, but it's contained in a sense. He has no problem hiding how petty he is, but it's not overly petty, like too much, right? So I heard what Fred Warner had to say. I don't particularly think that it was anything in there that may have insinuated that they were trying to injure the Detroit Lions on purpose. Maybe they were. I don't know. He said we was going to send him back limping. That means we just going to send you back, licking your wounds. We going to send you back. This is a gladiator sport. People, these guys sit in ice baths. So I don't know. But you could take things another way. But it was something that, and I'm like, you know what? I love this team because this team is me. Because I am this petty as well. And I wasn't always this petty, but I like a petty person. And I like a petty team. And the Detroit Lions are a petty team. Now, keep in mind that the NFL posted that tweet at 8:03. At this time, this is probably right before, as a matter of fact, I remember watching Fred do this. And this is right before the national anthem and the flag ceremony, where the Jets flew over, which is super cool, man. Outdoor stadiums are kind of cool because we don't get the Jets at Ford Field, but flies over. And then after that, so this happened before that. So keep that in mind. 8:03. Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Detroit Lions got wind of what Fred Warner said. He said they were going to get their butts beat. And we've heard GJ say something, and now this thing, belt to butt, is a thing that people are saying a lot. But check this out. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to let you hear this. I've recorded this video already, and the NFL they copyright claimed 5 seconds, so I cannot let you hear it, but I'll tell you what's going on, and as you see the visual component of this. This is the Detroit Lions in the third quarter now, the very end of it, St. Brown. All right, this is the Detroit Lions are trailing 24-28. This is when they took their first lead of the night. Amon-Ra scores. As you can see right here, he is grabbing his waist, as everybody know. All my old school people know how you used to get your butt beat at home and how the parents would grab the belt when you about to snatch that belt off your waist. And look at what happened. He takes the belt off. Now, he told the cameraman that this was going to be the celebration. And they're spanking the camera. But what you can't hear, and spitting on the lens, what you can't hear is they're saying basically that they're beating that behind. They got wind of Fred Warner's pregame speech and decided that they were going to do that when they scored a touchdown. I wish you could hear it. Go to the Detroit Lions. You might be able to find it on Twitter. If you want to listen to it, go to the 11-minute mark of the NFL highlights, the Detroit Lions versus San Francisco 49ers, Week 17, and you'll be able to hear it. But that was a direct response, in my opinion, to Fred Warner's pregame speech, somewhere between 8:20 and 10:20. The Detroit Lions got wind of that pregame speech and took their belt to their behinds when Amon-Ra scored. Now, what I like is that Amon-Ra St. Brown scored the touchdown. He told the cameraman prior to the celebration that he was going to do it. And I don't know about you, but I think they knew about this for a while. And what they did is they waited till they took the lead, because this was the moment the Detroit Lions took the lead for the very first time. You can't really be beating a tail until you get the lead. So I think the Detroit Lions were holding on to that for a while. They were going back and forth, but the Detroit Lions had not led until that moment in the third quarter with 19 seconds left. And that's the moment that Amon-Ra St. Brown they decided to do the celebration. So in my opinion, what I think happened is right after the pregame speech happened, the Detroit Lions got wind of it. Amon-Ra St. Brown told the cameraman, he probably told him on both ends what would happen, or maybe he told him during a TV timeout or something like that and said, hey, if I score, come right at me, because I can't really play it because the NFL, they real funny with their stuff. So go back and watch it. But After the score, you'll see Amon-Ra St. Brown. He tries to find the cameraman, and the camera dude comes darting over there. He probably would have done it anyway, but he comes darting over there like almost he had something planned. So, again, I thought that was sweet. I loved it. I could not see that stuff at the stadium, but I love that. I love y'all. Y'all don't understand, bro. I love, as the underdog that the Detroit Lions are, the fact right now that the Minnesota Vikings are getting all the attention. We beat them. We beat them without Aiden Hutchinson. We are the team to beat, not them. We won 11 in a row. We've won, what, 14 or 13 out of the last 14 games. Why are they talking about the Minnesota Vikings more than they're talking about us? But we're used to that. And I think that's one of the reasons we're so petty, because we are used to just being overlooked like that time and time again. So, again, I don't know of any type of bounty situation, have no idea. People have been asking me about that. I don't know. I didn't get to see that's the same stuff that y'all saw. I just saw the pregame, and as I was watching the highlights yesterday, and I saw St. Brown, I'm like, wait a minute, because I could hear them. And he's like, basically, yeah, we beating that tail. And I'm like, wow, okay. And then I put 2 and 2 together. So I don't know, but you can make your own assumptions as well. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. I'm going to try to go to the game on Sunday. I don't feel well at this moment. I don't know if I'll be able to go, but I'm going to try. It is now Wednesday. I've got a quick 72 hours, man, to get it together, and I'm going to try to go so I can be there to cheer our boys on. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.